Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I
mean. Papa gets up at 8 o'clock sharp.
Starts at about 8 o'clock. He gets out of bed at 8 o'clock.
He turns on the TV.
I think he watches the Today Show and Fox News, takes a shower, has breakfast.
And then he takes his shower, and then he has breakfast. He gets himself dressed, rolls into the kitchen, has his Quaker Oat squares, which are sitting on the counter with a bowl and the spoon ready to go. And then he goes in sits in his chair and reads the paper.
Sits in his chair, watches the news.
He reads the newspaper, goes down to his car.
And at about 11:50, he goes downstairs to get in his car, drives to McDonald's.
He goes to McDonald's first. Goes out to Mickey D's.
Has coffee.
It's his small hot coffee, and he has coffee.
One small black coffee. Is this the John Gervase special?
He backs in, sits back, enjoys his cup.
So after Papa gets his small black coffee, he goes and he parks in the same spot every single day, and he'll sit there. He'll adjust his seat into a different position and sit back, sip his coffee, read a newspaper.
He reads his newspaper, listens to the news.
Then goes to the gas station at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock-ish. Goes over to the gas station, to North Brainerd and Hillgrove, goes into his office, calls
Aunt Mickey, Aunt Debbie,
Kelly, and he calls Rebecca, and he calls Kevin.
And the grandkids and me to touch bases with us to see what's new.
Checking in with everybody, seeing what they're all doing, and he brings us all up to date on everybody else. It's great. And then he tells everybody what everybody else is doing.
But I don't know, because I'm here and he's back in there in the office doing a bunch of things. I hear him on the phone every now and then. I hear the TV on.
And then he drinks one of his shakes.
Whenever I come here, he always goes in the back and he said, "Hey Kevin, give me a milkshake," and then I have to go in the cooler and get him the milkshake.
And then when he's done about 4 o'clock-ish.
And about 4 o'clock, then he goes home and has dinner prepared for him by Angie.
Sits in his comfy chair. His gal always has a nice dinner ready for him. Little pork chop, asparagus, whatever she's making. And then he calls anyone that he hasn't gotten a hold of yet. Watches the news, watches the Bulls, watches the Bears.
And watches sports for the rest of the night.
Oh, he watches the news, Fox News, and then he goes to bed. And it's a good day.
So that's the day in the life of Papa.
What are Papa's values? What are the things that are important to Papa?
Number one, without a doubt, his family. Numero uno, family.
First is family.
And number two, his family. Family, family, and family.
And secondly, it's money.
What's your favorite story that Papa has shared with you?
Oh boy. Probably the cat. Do you guys know the cat story? Of course you do.
My favorite story that Papa's shared, and I could listen to it, and I have listened to it many times, is about the cat. The cat in the car. Okay. One of my favorite stories that he shared is his cat story, because it will make you die of laughter. Okay? That's all I can say. Driving home from Naperville with that cat in the car, and then out the window. Oh my gosh. Too funny.
Can you tell us some Papa-isms, some famous sayings, quotes maybe?
There's so many.
Has the eagle landed? Or eaglet? That will only take you 10 minutes, whatever job it is.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Yeah. I just read an article about that. Republicans are the best. Bush, and Reagan.
What is the best piece of advice he's ever given you?
Just be who you are. Like yourself. Be happy with yourself.
Buy low, sell high.
What is your favorite memory with Papa?
Papa would say, who wants to go look at the gas stations with me? Because he always liked to drive around all the gas stations. So we'd jump in the car, put the top down when we had a convertible, and we'd go and cruise. We'd go down Ogden Avenue, go to Naperville, and we'd sit there and look at it. We'd sit across the street, and we'd pull in, we'd say hi to Dick, and we'd check out the gas station, and then we'd drive around to the other ones and go home. We'd just go out for an evening, driving around seeing the gas stations.
My favorite memory is when Papa came with me to Miami. We drove straight through 1,500 miles, pulling a trailer back in 1998, and he was in a wheelchair then. So he was a passenger all the way down to Miami, straight through, and then we drove from there to Fort Myers, picked up my boat, stayed overnight, and then drove straight back. So we did 3,000 miles, over 3,000 miles with one night's sleep. And that was hard on me, but it was harder on Papa because he was in a wheelchair the whole time. So I think that was pretty incredible.
When I was a little girl, I don't know how old I was, and I wasn't feeling very good, and he told me, come here, come sit on my lap. And so I sat on his lap, and I felt like I was going to throw up. So I said, I think I'm going to throw up. And he goes, that's okay, you can throw up on me. And I said, I don't want to throw up on you. He goes, that's okay. And he just kept holding me instead of going, ew, take her to the bathroom. You can throw up on me. I'll never forget. I don't know how old I was, but that was pretty cool.
Can you describe a little bit about the legacy that Papa's built with family, with business?
Family. It's not the business, it's family. And the cohesiveness of our family and how important it is that we all are close to each other and love each other and do anything for each other.
The legacy that Papa's built is to always consider your family first and the consequences that any decision you make is going to have on your family. And he's always expressed an attitude of generosity with his family, that nothing is too high a price to pay for anyone's happiness or anything they need. Nothing costs too much and nothing's too much trouble. Setting an example for a very strong work ethic. His license plate is work hard. I mean, that says it all. And he has worked hard his whole life, gladly and selflessly. So that taking care of family, being there for your family. So that's my personal thank you to Papa. Thank you for that, Dad.
We love you, Papa.
I said that's life. That's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on a dream. But I don't let it get me down. 'Cause this fine old world, it keeps spinning around.
Been in a lot of goofy things, from one thing, from a milkman to this to that, owning horses, buying a farm, and well, ooh, wait a minute. But it's a great ride. It is. I mean, life's a great ride. And if you don't aspire to do, if you got something in your mind to do, chase it. Go as far as you can go. It might not be real successful. It might be very successful.
Back in the race. That's life.
That's life.
I tell you, I can't deny it. I thought of quitting, baby, but my heart just ain't gonna buy it. And if I didn't think it was worth one single try, I'd jump right on a big bird and then I'd fly. I've been a puppet, a pauper, a pirate, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down and over and out. And I know one thing, each time I find myself laying flat on my face, I just pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. That's life. And I can't deny it. Many times I thought of cutting out, but my heart won't buy it. But if there's nothing shaking come this here July,